Today we decided we're going to talk about just sayings that need to die in 2024.
They need to die.
First offer is the best offer. I
hate this one.
I will admit I was on this train and agreed. It needs to die because it's not always true.
In a bubble, if like everybody was to put their offer in and then you just pick the best offer, like that's very rare. There are things going on behind the scenes.
Well, you need 20% down to buy a house. Okay, Grandpa.
Okay,
go back to bed, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Another episode.
We're just talking shop here.
But yeah, so today we decided we're going to just talk about just sayings that need to die in 2024.
They need to die.
We're over it, and they're not applicable anymore, and they're outdated.
Yeah.
So
some are also uttered by people that we really trust and we use all the time in this business, and it's not great. There's some old dogma out there that needs to just not be a thing anymore.
Yeah. So you want me to kick this off?
Yeah, you seem excited about the topic, so let's do it.
Okay, we're going to start with, and this actually was one that we were going to do last, but I'm just going to start with it, is cash is king. Mm-hmm. So I want to start with it because it's not necessarily, okay, it needs to die because it's not always true.
Yeah.
I'll give it the fact that the majority of the time it is, but there are certainly times where it is not. So for example, just this past weekend, I have a listing up, got multiple offers. One of them was technically cash, and I was talking to another agent who was getting ready to put an offer in also, and just doing a great job at finding out what was already in and like how she can improve her offer and all of that without giving like ton of information or too much information. Told her, she asked if we had one that didn't have financing. I said, I do. I said, but you can always counteract that. Personally, to my sellers, having more money was more important to them. If I have two offers, one's cash, one is financed. The financed offer is higher, and I've talked to that lender. I know they're a clean file. It's gonna get to the settlement table at the end of the day. And if I have like confidence it's going to, and the terms are better, then the sellers may go with that offer. Mm-hmm. So if you plan on, well, I'm cash, so I'm going to put in a low ball offer, doesn't mean you're going to get it.
Yeah. So a couple added points to this. I have actually had this where I've been hosting an open house, and you get people, their strategy is to go in without an agent and try to offer cash at a reduced price. Not only because they think you're just going to save on commissions, but they just get ahead of themselves and they're like, well, we're cash. So, listen, guys, loans are going through. Like by the time our clients get to start placing offers, they are what's called already underwritten, pre-approved, which basically means like they need the appraisal for the property, and like that's it, and like need the people to keep their job. And that's it. I mean,
it's our job to navigate this anyway. And the majority of the deals that we do are financed. Like we know our way around them. I'm not scared of it.
Yeah, and like you can really tell. And in the state of Pennsylvania, there's also something called not even in the entire state, but in our area, it's called a BFI, which gives. It's not just a pre-approval letter. It says what they do for a living. It says where they work. It says how long they've been there, how much money they have, what debt they have. So you can get a really good, and it's a legal document. So you can get a really good idea of like where someone is financially. Like if they're scraping every penny together and they've got lots of debt, but it's like a conventional loan. That's different than somebody who's like, putting 20% down, or they're putting like 50% down, or they make tons of money, where you can say like, this loan's going to go through. There's no way that it won't go through unless something unforeseen completely, railroads this thing. But
not to say though, if you're staying competitive and you are a cash offer, if you're a cash offer and you're staying up with the terms and the purchase prices of these finance ones, okay, then yes, cash is king.
Yeah,
then yes, that will win.
But I also have clients who do what's called effective cash, where they're getting a loan, but they waive their contingency. Mm-hmm. So they're so sure they're going to buy that they can. They're so sure that they can buy that they're willing to put their deposit at risk in case like something happens where they don't get a loan or they lose their job. But So cash is king. It's not one that is a terrible.
It's not the worst.
Not the worst one, but it's one where I think too many agents and too many buyers go in there like, yeah, but I'm cash. Like, why wouldn't you accept mine? Like, I'm cash. It makes it, it's like, nah, it's not a thing anymore.
And even if you have cash, but like you have horrible representation and your agent is going to be really difficult or you're going to be really difficult on the buy side, I don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work with you. The sellers don't want to work. Nobody wants a difficult transaction.
Didn't you just get a cash offer over the weekend? Didn't you just get one from a guy just threw an offer together and... I thought you were saying that you got an offer that was like it was cash.
It was the rescinded one though.
It was the rescinded one.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. They pulled it back. Yeah. Well, that can happen. Yeah. All right. What's next?
And that one would have won too.
Yeah, would have won.
Because that was up at the same price.
But it was never meant to be, Jen.
I know, and that's fine. That's okay. I like the one that we got. Okay. Next is our lender's gonna love this one. Oh, yeah. First offer is the best offer. I will admit.
I hate this one.
I will admit I was on this train and agreed.
until your fearless leader set you straight. Yes.
To be fair, I still kind of believe it's either. I feel like the offers that end up getting selected, it's either first or last.
No.
Or it has a higher likelihood.
No.
I'm leaning now more towards last.
No.
Offers in.
Doesn't matter. It comes down to which agent is the most aggressive
and has had the best communication.
The most communicative and the ones who ask the best questions.
Yes.
And so the one that won over the one that you had a buyer. So Jen had a buyer for one of my listings. She's still butthurt about it.
I was butthurt about it.
But it was like right in the middle. And this agent, she did a fantastic job.
It was the first offer in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Jen's offer was the first offer in. And it didn't win. And frankly, I had 4 offers that beat it.
Irresponsibly.
So listen, let's talk about the genesis of this quote. It is actually a very, very accurate quote in a time when not like now.
Yeah.
In an environment
in a buyer's market
where homes are sitting for 20, 30, 60 days. Yes, your first offer is the best offer. But when you are getting
10
20
a weekend
offers on a house, it has no bearing on anything. So I see agents who have been in this business for a really long time, or they're really young and they're brokers who've been in the business for a really long time, all say, yeah, get that offer in right away because, you can say that the first offer is usually the best one and you can scoop it. And someone like me and someone like Jen, we're not falling for that. Our job as listing agents.
I'll respect the urgency. I will respect I will respect the decisiveness. And I had somebody over the weekend. She submitted Thursday. She knew that we were going to be reviewing offers Monday. Yeah, she did wait the whole weekend. It broke my heart to have to call her and tell her you were so
It was also
patient.
A vet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Stop making me out to feel even worse. We did accept an offer from a first responder, but
good.
It's that's where part of it comes from too, is that it shows it shows decisiveness. It shows that you're not going to waste time and that you'll get it done quickly. And there is some credibility to it, but in this market, it does not apply.
It does not apply. A good listing agent, guys, is going to be somebody who collects offers and then is able to what we say is optimize them. And really, it takes 2 to tango. Like in a bubble, if everybody was to put their offer in and then you just pick the best offer, that's very rare. There are things going on behind the scenes. So if you're selling your house and you've got 1 offer and then your agent says you have 5 offers and then they say you have 7 or 8 or 10 offers, your listing agent it's a contact sport. Your listing agent should be calling those agents saying, I whenever I'm on the buy side, I put something in the bottom of my email being do not be afraid to call me. I know that a lot of listing agents are afraid to make this call if our offer is no longer competitive. I want that call. My buyers have requested that I ask you to call us. We are not going to bite your head off. Please, 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 please let us know. And
I always end mine with if there's anything that would cause the sellers to hesitate to signing our offer, please call me before they feel inclined to sign something else.
Yeah. And then I follow that up with a phone call, or I'll have the phone call before I send the offer in, and I'll be like, all I ask, and I always say, Listen, I'm on the listing side all the time. I'm on the buyer side all the time. I just ask that we keep an open line of communication. As you know, buyers, they are kind of flying blind here. They're putting together what they think would be the best offer to gain the property. But if for any reason we are not the final seat at the table, please let us know and we will come back with the best terms that we feel comfortable with. And like that right there gives the listing agent a lot of leeway to make that call back to us. So this is our long-winded explanation to say,
First is not best.
First is not best. I mean, a good real estate
it's the
agent should be
follow-up.
making a good listing and a good buyer's agent should be having this dialogue while you guys are home sleeping and going on with your lives and waiting for an answer about a house. So I think.
Did you beat that elephant?
I think beat the elephant. You
Yeah.
want to talk about elephants?
No.
Can we talk about elephants? Dude, I think we have gone 3 or 4 episodes without talking about the elephant, and I cannot figure out a way to finagle the elephant metaphor into this conversation.
You're welcome.
But we are only, I think, about 10 minutes in, and we have about 10 other 10 minutes. I will try to figure out how to do that.
You said
for
that.
us and for all of you great listeners out there.
Okay. Next is the one that we've also beat to death, but the 20% down.
Yes.
Well, you need 20% down to buy a house. Okay, Grandpa.
Okay,
go
boomer.
back to bed, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Let's get you back to the home. That's not the case anymore. It has not been the case for a while. Times change, things change, and lending changes with it. So we have said this. This is one of our first episodes, and we've said it like periodically since. But you can go conventional, and you can get a loan for as little as 3% down. You can do USDA or VA and get as little as 0% down for down payment, not closing costs. We talk about the difference between those two. But like that 20% down, I mean, if you want to avoid PMI, you can put 20% down. That's perfectly fine. Go ahead. If it's an investment property, you'll have to put 20% down. But really between those two things, that's really the only reason you would like have to.
Yeah. Yeah. So
otherwise it's archaic.
And listen, to take the other side of that, if you could put 20% down and you still have liquidity and cash after acquisition, do it. Like there's nothing saying you can't do it. People say, oh, I don't want to pay PMI, but usually by the time our lender breaks down exactly what PMI costs, it's like, okay, I'm going to save myself, $87 a month. But if I put down an extra $27,000, and it's like, okay.
But you only have like 30,000 to your name.
Yeah. Well, listen, if you got to only put down 3% or 5% down, like right now I have an offer out that is only 5% down. They could put 25% down, but they want to hold on to the cash so they can make all the modifications. So when their father-in-law or mother-in-law comes through the door, the place is like,
I
sweet.
advise that.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
And they're comfortable with the payment. Payment's higher, of course, because they're putting less money down. But there are people out there who are 25 who are saying, "Oh, I don't have enough. I don't have the 20% needed to purchase. So like, I don't want to waste your time." And they're like, whoa. Okay, so you're obviously listening to somebody who bought a house like pre 2005. 2005. Don't get lippy with me. I'm on a roll. No. But in the end, it's like it used to be kind of required. That was the risk that banks were willing to take. They were not willing to let you put 5% down. But as interest rates kept going down, and I know they feel like they're up, but relatively in the grand arc of history, that they're still not high. Lenders will still allow you to put down 5% if you can deal with the payment. And if you still have money left over at the end of the
nobody's trying to get you to go house broke, and that's what I really want to instill into people is that if you're putting 20% down because you're being told to or because you feel like you have to, but that's going to make you house broke. Like with we just got done saying in the episode before this that first thing we said is something's bound to break. Okay, it was the second thing we said. Something's bound to break. Something's bound to go wrong. You want to be able to have that emergency money to fix your HVAC or to have to get a new roof or to just do some kind of maintenance that happens in your house.
Just go do the things you want to go do. Or
go on vacation.
Or in the case of our clients that are under contract right now, they got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
They gotta basically furnish a house and nest and who knows what comes up with that. And I think that, obviously with maternity leave and so keep the liquidity, but this is all the puzzle that a good agent and a good lender will partner with you on to get you where you need to be
from the ground up.
But like really, it really is. It's just like a formula, and it's a puzzle that you put together with everybody. And once you reach a certain comfort level, you go for it. So, but again, if you got 20% down, man, just put it down. I mean, but it's not a prerequisite to purchase.
Yep.
So, all right, I think those are the three ones that
There
that
was
bother
one
me
more.
the
Did you
most.
want to do it?
Well, what is it? Oh, is there a bonus?
Oh, and a bonus one.
Is there a bonus?
Okay, so like, I don't know. We don't hear this
This
all
better
the
be.
time.
This
but
better be
is
good,
it.
Jen. This better be real good.
You were excited about it.
Was I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Price your home high to leave room for negotiations.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah. What are your feelings on it? How does it work?
It's bad advice in any market.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. It feels like it would track logically, but it doesn't.
Like all the other three things that we just said at least had some validity to it.
Yeah, this doesn't really track. It's just. I mean, I guess it could work like if you absolutely need a number and it's just totally a discretionary sale.
Well, this
and
is
you
what's
wanted
happening
to-
in Florida.
What's happening in economic perspective from Jen
Oh my
in Florida?
God.
Let's do it.
Who would have thought?
Oh
Coming
my
from
God.
me.
Oh my God. Let's do it.
Well, I was talking to our buddy down there who also has a podcast for Naples.
What's that called? Like Everyday Naples or something like that?
We'll tag them in the description. They're really good people. We like them.
Yeah.
They'll probably be on ours at some point too. But anyway, so I was talking to him about how the market is down around Naples area in Florida. And boy, is it nothing like it is up here. That's for sure. So, it's the people who are selling off like vacation homes. They're not in enough pain. They're pricing them too high and they're sitting. So it's like the inventory is a lot higher, but they're overpricing it and it's not moving, which is why there's still inventory sitting because, these people don't really have to sell. So they're going to price it high and they don't care if it sits. And that's what's going to happen when you price it.
So a market like down in it's really like Southwest Florida, because I got some statistics from southeastern Florida, which is like
this
Miami-Dade.
was coming from Naples.
And like condos all across Florida are in the dumps, but you can still sell like a single family home in Southeast Florida. But Southwest Florida is different. But in a market that's shifting from a seller's to a buyer's market, it's kind of like musical chairs. Like it's got like people have to get left standing, and that's what people are doing. They still think they can get a certain amount for a house, but then it ends up they can't. So then the real strategy there is, and it's hard to do. It's hard to convince consumers to do this. It's like, no. You have to kind of anticipate the whole market going all the way down. And the ones that will sell are the ones that are listed just like under, and you price under the market, and then you can hopefully get competition to kind of buoy it up to where you'd be anyway after multiple price reductions. So here you can still, and I have said this since 2020, you can still overprice the hottest market. I don't care what it is. And there are people, I've turned away listings because I'm like, I mean, there was the one up in Phoenixville. I was just, they're like, we want to list for, $1.6 million. And I was like, guys, like nothing has ever sold in here for more than 1.425. And you don't have a finished basement and the house is dated. So they ended up changing course. They ended up not doing, going ahead with that, doing anything anyway, because I think they want to stay put until the kids are out of high school. But a house listed for 1.325 6 months later, and it is still sitting. It is still sitting. And so this generally happens, guys, at higher price points. There's less pain, there's less motivation to sell, but also it's just, you're just dealing with bigger numbers. So the spread can be bigger. You can really get overpriced in a hurry when you're like talking like 800, 900, million, 1.5 million. So that is something that definitely a good agent is going to be able to talk you into or talk you through. And it's kind of like I don't want to say mind F, but.
Oh, well, to your point though, about like pricing it slightly below, and it's always harder to convince people of doing that. The like logic behind it is you want as many people to see it as possible. Yeah. So the more people that you can have in front of it, the more statistically, it's just like the higher the probability is that you'll have more people who will have the interest.
Well, pricing is a function of marketing. And it's a big, big piece. And it's like, the three pillars of marketing is location, condition, and pricing. And pricing is a huge deal. You might not get anyone to even see it if it's like just priced and people aren't even searching that high. If they're like, hey, I want to live in, Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania, up to $1.4 million. There's nothing really sells in Plymouth Meeting for 1.4. There's stuff that sells for like 1.2 2, maybe 1.3, but like you won't even get marketing exposure if you list too high. So it's important, but then also you have to understand buyer psychology. And it's like, if the buyer feels that they're doing you a favor by giving you your price, like just buckle up, man, because the inspections are going to be tougher. There's a chance that the appraisal will come in low.
Well, I had an agent who...
And it might all be a moot point. If the appraisal comes in low, then, everyone's got to adjust their expectations anyway.
When I was in Philly, and even Philly is like starting to shift towards more of a buyer's market right now, specifically the city. But there was this condo that was wildly overpriced, and I went to the agent and I said, "Okay, Mr. Agent, like,
what's up?
Let's come on. Like, we know." I said, "You know that the highest comp, it was in a condo building, the highest one." Told him what that was. I said, "You are 40 grand above that.
And
please help me help you.
And that was like
walk
a 10%
me through this."
over.
It wasn't
$1 million condo. It was like a $450,000 condo, wasn't it?
It was listed for like 489 or something like that.
Yeah, so it's a 10% over.
And it was like the highest comp was like 440 or something like that. And I was like, help me understand. If you have a reason behind it, right, then tell me so I can sell my buyers on it. But like where we're at right now, this is what we see. Got very defensive. I ended up like cutting him down enough to be like,
Jen not taking any shit.
He started pulling that like bulldog attitude. I said, for starters, I
can't wait till this is made into a reel.
So, oh my God. I got pretty
agitated
heated.
Jen.
He started playing hardball with me. He goes, "I know what you're trying to do here." I said, "First of all, I'm not trying to do anything other than get your seller a good and fair offer. So I'm going to repeat myself and say, what brought you to that value so that we can help each other here?" He got a little nicer after that.
Right.
And, he said, well, it all came down to the seller wanted a certain price for it. He didn't have to sell it.
There we go.
And said, if the buyer wants it, then they'll pay for it.
That's right.
And I said, okay, well, guess what? Another one came up in that same building and we went under contract on that one instead.
That's right. Yep. And also I would get pretty pissed off at a listing agent too, because it's like, you need to sell me. Like, put your sales hat on, bud, and sell me on this price. And don't tell him, don't just go blame your client and say, oh, well, he just wants a ridiculous number. Like, don't do that shit. It's like, sell me on it. Like, show me the comps. Show me something stupid, but show me something to justify it. And it is a help me. It's like, listen, if I was a buyer's agent, I'm like, I want you to justify it so I can go back to my buyer and get them on board. Because everybody wants to transact.
Because, well, apparently the way that he got the business from the seller said, "Do you want the listing or not?"
Yeah, exactly. And those are the people that are not going to make out in the long term, because that house is going to be sitting for 60, 90, 120 days. I mean, how long was this thing sitting?
I don't know. I'm sure
it was
it's
a
still
while,
sitting.
wasn't it? It was like 100 and some days, wasn't it?
I don't even remember.
But it's like, if
while.
it's sitting for 100 days, that $40,000 extra $1,000 he wants, that ain't going to happen, man. The market will speak, and the market will make sure.
You lose your leverage the longer it sits.
Damn. We talked about this for a while. This is a good one.
Thanks.
This is a good.
Aren't you glad I brought it up?
I am glad.
You said it better be good.
But I think most people's commutes are coming to an end, so we should probably wrap this up.
Okay, fine. So on that note, those are things that need to die in 2024. Sayings. I don't know if we can say that.
Yeah, I don't want anyone to die in 2024, but the sayings should.
These are things that need to retire.
That's right.
Yes. All right. So
see you guys
next time. Bye.
Bye.